day, Ruskin enjoyers. Hope you're alright, 'cause it's time for the 48-hour analysis. Now you might be a little bit confused. Hang on a minute. This isn't the normal intro. Nope, I thought I'd do something a little bit different. I'm going to put aside the usual, rambling, sitting there and saying what we do with a 48-hour analysis. You know what we do. So I thought, you know what? I'll put a little bit of an effort in and remind you that for the second week of June 2026, we're going to have a Complete the Sets Rust Store. Now, with this current Rust Store we have, if anything, it's a bit of a teaser. We saw some very interesting collection continuations appear that have waited quite some time to finally be accepted. And let me tell you, after my predictions video, I just basically put my hands up and I said, you know what? We've got a lot of skins this week that could easily work out very nicely if the sales aren't too ridiculous. Well, guess what? Guess what? You know what? The sales aren't too ridiculous. Oh, what's this? So why am I making such a fuss about, Complete the Sets? Of course, as you might notice, we have the Thundergold tactical gloves right there. I've just recorded a short video showcasing this, and I realised, you know what? I've got to make quite a fuss about what possibly could appear for Complete the Sets. As you might notice, I'm wearing some hoodie and pants here. This is the Thundergold hoodie and pants. This is like the 4th or 5th attempt. Yes, there was a 4th attempt, but there's 2 different versions. This right here is the white streak version for the hoodie and pants. And I'd just like to say thank you to Micro, who helps me with this whole server here. He collaborated with Morphus to make this whole set, and I thought I could just give it a little highlight and whatnot. But again, Complete the Sets, second week of June, that's a candidate. And that's something a lot of people have been hoping for. Who knows what could actually be accepted, but start looking, start hoping, start... But it's just a nice little thing to be aware of. And of course, I thought I'd just quickly go ahead and showcase like a full set here. Didn't get that much clothing armor this week. But you know what? Some white tactical gloves. I think a lot of people are going to greatly appreciate that. Look at that in all its glory. Observe. So I just felt motivated to do something a little bit different. But at least you're also fully well aware. Now for June Force Wipe, I'm not really sure what's going to happen because we're not seeing any new submissions this weekend. No skins are supposed to be submitted. Skin creators are supposed to take some time off. Chances are the most likely outcome is the skins that have been submitted over the past 2 weeks, so last weekend and the week before that, those skins. Maybe we'll see a sprinkling of some old submissions of the past. Maybe that also gets in as well. We'll see. But we are expecting, in 2 weeks' time, Complete the Sets. We're expecting a big Rust Store, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure you saw the video from last week. Cool. And so, shall now go ahead and commence the yapping of the skins of the current Rust Store. Could there be some interesting potential investments purely based on the fact that those skins don't look as if they're selling too ridiculously? Well, let's get to it then. And, well, here we are. So at the first 24 hours of sales, to be honest with you, initially I was expecting much higher. I thought with the collection continuations, the certain collections that were accepted, the designs, I honestly was expecting more. No. But a lack of sales isn't a problem for us, the investors. No. If people suddenly want these in the future, and there's only so many of them that were bought, all the better for them to rise up in price in the future. I've said this many times in the past. So with the first 24 hours of sales, wow. Space Station Electric Furnace, I've made a big fuss about space-themed deplorables recently. People are buying them. People are appreciating them. Well, if you don't sell too ridiculously, I think you're in a good spot. Just made a big fuss about Thundergold tactical gloves. Yeah, there's a possibility we might see more. We'll see. The day we see hoodie and pants is the day we are finally happy. But, people still ask for Temple Tier 2 and, hoodie and pants there or whatever. Anyway, probably the best white camouflage tactical gloves we currently have. Yeah, I think they'll be doing quite all right. And if they're not selling that much, even better. Apotheosis of War Fridge. We don't have that many fridges, not so far this year. got a very cool design, quite unique. The transparency has, very creative, yes, yes. Honestly, very surprised to see it didn't sell that much, but then again, $3. Kind of saw the same thing with the bed, didn't we? So, you know, there's some pretty interesting, promising things here. Why don't we go ahead and showcase to you the first 48 hours of sales. So I should point out, right now I'm recording a little bit later, but I did take a screenshot at 48, and wow. It's not really picking up that much momentum. But do consider this. A lot of people might wait till the last second. I'm not joking. Literally the last second on the Thursday, and they might jump in and buy some then. I must warn you, it's force wipe next week, isn't it? So a lot of people, you're going to be pleasantly surprised to find out it'll be an early rust rotation. That is the expectation, right? So chances are these sell even less. Ooh. So, yeah. Things are looking pretty interesting right now. Yes, indeed. So get a good look at that. I even zoom out a bit. So can I zoom out? Can I? You're not doing a very good job of this. No. You might be able to see the pump shotgun a little bit better. So okay, cool. Sorry. So sorry. And here we are. So this is what it looks like right now. A good few hours later, after 48 hours. Yeah, it's barely moving. So, okay, maybe we're going to have another instance of lack of sales. Could we see some interesting collection continuations in the future as well? Consider that. Right, so I'm going to go through all the skins now. I'm going to figure out a decent estimate in regards to what the final sales would be by next Thursday. And then we'll also question, could they be nice investments in the future? I'm going to pair up the space station electric furnace and the tactical gloves at the same time. If I could just quickly go ahead and showcase this to you, they had very similar sales, very similar subscriber counts. So I thought to myself, you know what? I could just go ahead and compare to the previous week. Now, Gothic Vale Garage Door, I thought that wasn't selling that much. I questioned, could it even reach 20,000 subscribers? And it didn't, did it? So now, thinking about that, I'm like, well then, does that mean these are going to barely reach 20,000 as well? Or are there a lot of people waiting until the last second? Whilst this is currently in the lead at the moment, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people jump onto this. I do believe a lot of people just waiting for the right time for Thundergold. And Wednesday night is typically when a lot of us are active. We do our abnormal barders, and then we consider purchases afterwards. And I will be jumping onto that. I think even now I can tell I'm going to want some. But Space Station, whilst it only has one direct collection continuation here, there's actually a lot of space-themed skins, which of course we've already mentioned in the Rust Rotation video, in the predictions video, but just to remind you, people are buying out space-themed deplorables. They are appreciated. So to then look and see that this isn't selling that much, okay, that's in a pretty good spot. But it is an electric furnace skin. We have seen quite a lot of these, and of course we're getting a very special DLC one as well. Initially, these will look interesting, but as more and more and more options appear, unfortunately, well, they're probably not going to look so special anymore. Now, they do happen to have some interesting collections behind them, but this is a bit loose, isn't it? So, I'm under the impression Space Station Electric Furnace and the Thundergold Tactical Gloves are going to probably sell between 18 to 21,000 subscribers. I think a lot of people are just sitting there waiting for the last second, and then they make their move. Yeah. So I think they could potentially still crack and reach over 20,000 subscribers. We'll see how it goes. But I can't guarantee it. And it does look quite likely they might just about miss 20,000. And yes, that does make the electric furnace look a little bit more interesting. But it's not perfect. Again, maybe there's going to be another space-themed electric furnace. That wouldn't be fun, would it? No. But to be honest with you, I'm not really expecting that. I think that might just work out all right, just because it's a space-themed deplorable. So we can talk more about that Wednesday night when we do the abnormal barders. But the Thundergold Tactical Gloves. Honestly, there's only one potential bad thing that could happen that could cause issues for this. I'm fully well aware, on the workshop, there's another pair of tactical gloves. That being, whiteout tactical gloves. Nothing is a guarantee, but that is eligible for complete the sets. And if that were to be accepted 2 weeks after Thundergold Tactical Gloves, come on now. You know that'll cause problems. You know that'll cause issues. But, you know, realistically, I don't think that's going to happen. I would be surprised if it does. But Face Punch doesn't like to accept camouflage skins. The last whiteout skins to be accepted were the boots, and with all due respect, that happened 2 years after the Tier 2, which was basically the last pieces. I'm not saying no, but it could happen. Now, in regards to the Thundergold Tactical Gloves, it is an incomplete collection, but it's still greatly appreciated. Did you notice the prices of the whiteout skins there? They're pretty ridiculous. Now, these are fairly high, but they're certainly not whiteout prices. And this right here, a new edition, very nice to see. Do notice the backpack there as well, $6 a piece. I hope for the day we do see hoodie and pants. The skin creators certainly have tried. But we'll see. I mean, we've been hoping for a very long time. Please, Face Punch. Anyway, if we were ever to see the hoodie and pants, those tactical gloves will spike them on, spike a price ever so nice. But regardless, aside from that, I think those tactical gloves are going to be doing pretty sweet regardless. Because with the possibility of selling between 18 to 21,000 subscribers, it looks like it's going to match up perfectly with what we have here. It would be slightly higher compared to these, but it wouldn't be like ridiculous. It wouldn't be insane. And there's a more likely outcome that this is going to sell less than 20,000 than more than 20,000. But as I did point out, I am expecting a lot of people waiting until the last second and then they make their move. So we'll see how that turns out. But that isn't a very good spot. I feel more confident in this compared to this. So, alright then. Cool. Let's now move on and talk about these two skins. So, back over to here. With the Apotheosis of Warfridge and the Runway Rug, they did very similar sales as well. So, what we're going to compare to, I thought about it. See, initially I thought maybe Psycho Room, Face Mask and Chest Plate. Just the previous week, we also happen to have the Hellcore Bandana. We also happen to have, of course, the No Mercy Electric Furnace. That's basically like a little bit more, a little bit less. So, I mean, we could go ahead and do comparisons, but I was quite surprised to find out all of those skins actually sell quite a lot. There's the No Mercy Electric Furnace, 17,000 subscribers. Hellcore Bandana, 14,000 subscribers. The week before, here is Psycho Tier 3, 16,000, almost 16,000. And now I hop back over to here. I look at these two skins. They've only got about 8,000 subscribers each. With all due respect, 8,600. But anyway. See, I don't think they're going to reach up to 16,000 subscribers. Again, maybe a lot of people are going to wait till the last second. We'll see how that goes. But I don't see it. Yeah, initially it sold quite a lot, both of the skins. Not too bad, but not too ridiculous. Like, nothing to brag about, I guess you could say. But I don't think they're going to... I'm not feeling confident that they even reach 15,000 subscribers. But I will sit here and say, I reckon the both of these, they're probably going to do between 13 to 15,000 subscribers. And, well, with the fridge, first of all, it's in a pretty good spot. We're not seeing a ridiculous amount of fridges being accepted anymore. Now, what we had last year, oh boy, that led to problems. We're not seeing that problem from last year, but is this unique and special enough that people will appreciate it from here and now? Well, if you haven't seen this in game yet, the barbed wire does look cool. And Apotheosis of War skins have been appreciated since they came out. Now, one very similar skin would be the bed. The bed sold at $3.49. It didn't sell that much. That worked out alright, but it did need sequels to be accepted for that to work out. Now it does look as if it's going to sell quite a fair bit more compared to this. I get the feeling though, give it time, that will also be in the positive. Consider this as well. With complete the sets on the horizon, do you think we'll see some representation for the Apotheosis of War collection? Or is this happening already? Like, you know, with the teaser of complete the sets, have they already put out what would be that skin? I mean, probably, yeah. I know the skin creator is trying for more. I did see the recent Sheet Metadabador submission, which you can see right over to here. Oh, it's been removed. I guess that was the odd version. What about this one? Is it here? There you go. Yeah. They're still trying. They're making more. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see anything like things that aren't doors, like, I don't know, maybe a locker and whatnot. A rug, maybe. Anyway, so if we see more, it does better. Simple as. And if it's not selling ridiculously, I expect it to do quite all right. But the $3 price, it is high. It is high. But you know what? If I could just quickly remind you, didn't this fridge over here also sell for a high price? No, it's $2.49. This one too. Well, they're not that far off. It's not too bad. It is a very interesting, transparent design. It does look very cool. Will that carry it, though? I'm still questioning that. But it does look nice. So I'll talk more about that when we do the abnormal barders. Now, this rug, this waited 7 years to be accepted. Funny enough, like quite literally on its 7th birthday. Okay, cool. So, do you not notice how useful that is? Look at the picture it provides. It paints a picture. Anyway. It highlights. It points. It glows. It's a glow-in-the-dark marketable rug. So, I've already mentioned this, but unfortunately, Volcanic Rug did go down in price. You also might notice, hang on a minute, it's starting to recover. It's doing better. Yeah. If this were to do potentially 13 to 15,000 subscribers, I think that's in a pretty good spot, and it would sell less compared to Volcanic Rug. Now, when you look at all the marketable glow-in-the-dark rugs that we have, we've got that one, and then you got that one, and that one, and then if you could just scroll down, we got that one. Now, we also have to have these two. Well, that's a holiday theme skin. That's technically also a holiday theme skin, but you'd notice the majority of these glow-in-the-dark rugs that are marketable, they are in the positive. Now, we do see quite a lot of like Twitch drops and, well, of course, potentially kick drops that glow in the dark. It's not like we're desperate, but I must point out this is already in a very good spot. I know some people might bring up this as well. Again, it's a Christmas holiday theme skin. It's out of season, but keep an eye on that. Christmas is only getting closer. Ooh. Anyway, runway rug. I could see a lot of usage with it. You could have arrows pointing to your vending machines. You could have arrows pointing to your neighbours. You could have a big picture referencing something about their family, more specifically their mums, something like that. Anyway, so you wouldn't do that, would you? You're a sensible player, aren't you? Anyway, I think that's in a very good spot. Not selling that much. I think that could work out quite nicely. For a surprise skin that was never accepted for about 7 years until now. Yeah, I like it. I've just made a short video showcasing this. I could see how it could be greatly utilised. I have to respect it. I'm looking at that with some positivity. So we'll see what it looks like Wednesday night when we do the abnormal barders. That actually might work out quite nicely. Are we going to see another rug like this that's an arrow? Or will Face Punch avoid that? I know we have the factory DLC, the industrial DLC on the horizon, literally next week. There are wallpapers with arrows and all that, but they don't glow. Well, there you go. Right, next I want to talk about the Popstar large backpack, and to be honest with you, I'm just going to follow up from these two, because right now this is very similar to the sales these have. In fact, that might surpass them. And if I could also just quickly reference back to here, this also was fairly close to these two as well. So in reference to these two, I think Popstar large backpack is going to probably do between 12 to 14,000 subscribers. And there could be a chance it does manage to surpass at least one of them. Anyway, that's a big surprise. That waited since January 2025 to finally be accepted. And yes, the design of this does look different compared to the recent skins. Anyway, okay. So you're telling me we have an anime backpack? Yes, we do. There is no backpack like this that exists in this game. Well, I mean, you could base it on themes and whatnot, but no, there's no other anime skin right here. Let's just theorize. You're building up your base, and your farmer, he needs to go out there, he needs to get some wood. He needs to go farm some stone. He needs a backpack. Do you like him? Maybe you don't. Or maybe you do. Either way, give him the Popstar backpack. I'm sure they're going to be pleased with you. It doesn't glow in the dark. Let's point out, it does not glow in the dark. It's just a bright, colourful, lovely, joyous design. It is a Popstar skin, we've had about 5 of these being accepted in the past 2 months. The majority of the skins here are looking pretty sweet. Who knows what we might see with complete the sets on the horizon. I'm just going to point that out. Yes. I mean, we've had some very cool looking skins. Anyway, it's in a pretty good spot. 12 to 14,000 subscribers isn't that much. It's like hardly anything, really. And for an in-demand collection, well, we'll see what happens next. But how likely do you reckon we're going to see another pop star skin this year? Oh, come on now. I think the skin creator is feeling motivated. I've seen some of the ideas he's thought of. He's made some very nice designs recently as well. There's still more that could be accepted. Like, this is in a good spot. It is in a good spot. I don't think we're going to see anything like this ever again, unless it's like a kick drop or a Twitch drop. Like, do we see VTubers get a backpack or whatever? We'll see. So, okay. And come on now. I know for a fact a lot of you happen to like that design. I know you want to run around with your anime. I know you need her to protect your back, all right? I know you need her, okay? So I know that's going to sell nicely. So yeah, 12 to 14,000 subscribers. Right, next up I'm going to pair up the SKS with the sleeping bag. And, well, with the first 24 hours of sales, they really didn't sell that much. That is a big surprise. When I talked about the Abyss SKS, I did reference how quite a lot of the weapons for the Abyss collection do tend to work out quite nicely. And to my surprise, Harbour Seal has definitely picked up as of recent. People have been appreciating it. Okay, well, fair enough then. But hardly any sales. You know what? What did I say at the very beginning? If we don't see them sell that much, all the better for them to rise up in price in the future, if there happens to be some interest. Okay, well, fair enough then. Right, so, what we're going to compare to, I thought we could just go literally to the previous week. There you go. Berserker Tactical Gloves, a very similar amount of sales. And we could also go a little bit further back and look at the pump shotgun. So, yeah, okay, fair enough then. Right, so back over to here. Let's go take a look at the pump shotgun first of all. I should remind you, with the first 24 hours of sales with these skins, it was technically 23, but I don't think it'll matter that much. That only did about 8,700 subscribers. And then over to here, as you'll see, Berserker Tactical Gloves, they did about 9,600. I would have reason to believe a lot of people might wait to the last second and then make a move on both of them. I did say this in my predictions video. Whilst I'm very curious about these skins, if the rest of these do not sell that much, it also makes them very viable. And I will sit here and say, I reckon the SKS and the sleeping bag are going to probably sell between 9 to 11,000 subscribers. And I will sit here and say, I think that's not that. I think the sales are a bit low. I think I've got a good reason as to why with the SKS, but the sleeping bag, I am quite surprised. Maybe because it doesn't glow in the dark or whatever. Hey, we'll see. But I'm sure many of you are fully well aware of Recoy and Dylan Zito's brand new kick drop for an SKS. Oh, okay, the timing is a bit for this. You know what? For us, the investors, keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that. That very likely could turn around in the future and work out quite nicely. Yes, it doesn't have a transparent aim sight, but it's still an Abyss skin. And Abyss collection's in demand. I think you'd agree. Well, I mean, offer your opinion. Comment below. I think you'd agree. What do you reckon? And we still haven't reached summer peaks. It's not July yet. It's not August yet. Look at that. That's looking pretty good. So, we'll see what happens. But we are fully well aware that this right here, this, where is it? There it is. This has a transparent aim sight. This is a nice marble-esque white design. We know a lot of people are going to greatly appreciate that. Are they going to put that down and then use the Abyss SKS instead at any point in the future? Do they feel compelled? I mean, I don't know, but yes, transparency. Absolutely free. Whereas this over here, $3. $3 versus free. Free versus $3. I think a lot of people might just take the free option. Yeah, so I'm not surprised with the lack of sales. But if we don't see that, like, many more transparent aim sight SKS skins being accepted, I could see this turn around to work out nicely. Realistically speaking, though, I could still see that drop off. And that'd be a discussion we have when we do the abnormal barders. But I think you could pick up a lot of these for a cheaper price and flip them for some sweet, delicious profit in the future. So, yeah. 9 to 11,000 subscribers. Now, Harper Seal, right. Let's get a good look at you. Positive, 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 positive. That's improved quite a bit. I will sit here and say that did quite a lot of sales. That did okay sales. This did reasonable sales. That did reasonable sales. That, 20,000 almost. Wow. Anyway, I think this isn't going to reach 10,000 subscribers. Doesn't glow in the dark. I will remind you, we've had quite a decent amount of sleeping bags so far this year, including a certain sack. Anyway, Dragonhorn, Curse of the Drowned. When I first saw them, I was expecting that they would suffer as we go through the Easter dip. I thought they'd go down by about 20%, and both of them have reached that low point. But now we're getting closer to the summer peaks. Ooh. Anyway, I reckon that those could still work out quite nicely in the future, but we were correct based on what we saw here. 12,500, 10,600, and they still went down in price. So with this right here, I'm sorry to say, but I still believe that could still dip below its rust or price at some point in the future. Now, if we were to start seeing a lot more Harbour Seal skins being produced and potentially accepted, okay, that'd be nice. But it's not like the skin creators haven't tried. Okay, look at what we see here. They have tried. Maybe we need another attempt with the furnace. We'll see how it goes. But yes, they have certainly tried. But only now have we seen one being accepted. And how long did it wait in the workshop? Let's just quickly remind you. That waited almost a year. Almost a year. Ha! So, are you a seal enjoyer? Do you have the seal of approval? Sorry. Anyway, I think that might be a pretty good spot, but I think we might have to approach it with a barter again, much like how I approached the previous sleeping bags that glowed in the dark. It's kind of easy to read them. So we'll leave it till Wednesday. We'll look at the sales then, and then we'll make a consideration. Maybe it doesn't sell that much more till Wednesday. Maybe it might only be about 7,000 subscribers. Okay, maybe I'll change my tune. Maybe I'll jump in. Maybe I'll actually go buy some then. Okay, cool. Then we've got the Salvage Sword. I'll kind of keep it nice and quick. I'm sure many of you are fully well aware. Salvage Swords, they don't tend to work out very nicely, do they? No. We could do a nice quick comparison with the Bird Luck Handmade LMG. Let's go ahead and do just that. And you'll notice this only did about 6,600 subscribers. With the current rate of sales, yeah, that looks as if it's going to match up to that quite nicely. I reckon that's going to do between 6,000 to 7,000 subscribers. Now, Salvage Swords. Oh, yeah, so. Yeah, they're not in demand. It's unfortunate, but it's not too hard to notice. Now you might sit there and say, but low sales, low sales. Well, guess what? Low sales. Down 44. Yeah. Low sales, down 51. Low sales, down 52. 2,900 subscribers, down 52%. Oh, so, yeah, I'm sorry to say, but I don't expect much with that. I'll just stick with like a lowball barter of 60 cents to 80 cents. It's the weapon itself, rather than the actual skin. Skin looks nice. Props to skin creators. But, yeah, people don't seem to appreciate the Salvage Sword. Or at the very least, the newer skins. So, okay then. Then we have the Toy Salvage Axe in a Nuke Vibe large box. And the Thompson. Wow, okay, all three. 3,500 to 3,800. Yeah, okay, that's pretty similar. And of course, with the first 24 hours of sales, 2,500, almost 2,450, and then 2,350. Yeah, they've been fairly close for a while. What are we compared to? I reckon we could compare to the Mutant Custom SMG. Now, how much does that sell? Because it didn't sell that much, did it? That only did 6,000 subscribers. Huh. What? That had a transparent aim sight. That did not sell that much. And I'm expecting that these could sell even less. I reckon the Axe, the Box, and the Thompson could potentially only sell between 5.5 to 6.5 thousand subscribers. And I really wouldn't be surprised if that happens. So let's talk about possibilities. Toy Salvage Axe. I actually went ahead and asked a question. I asked, Toy Ice Pick then? I mean, it makes sense. If that was to happen, if we do see the Toy Ice Pick, I think that Salvage Axe is in a very, 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 very good spot. Now, the toy collection as a whole, it's a bit hit and miss. Might see the hoodie and pants who complete the sets. Just gonna say, maybe. Anyway. I'd probably just stick with a barter in regards to that. It's not the first time we've seen an interesting looking salvaged axe, and then a salvaged ice pick was made after it, but then nothing happened for a while. So, okay, we'll leave it be for now, but I am curious. And if it sells even less than the expectation, I might have to put down a decent buy order, or at least maybe even consider making a purchase. But it's not abnormal, so that's a bit of a problem. Nuke Vibe large box. Okay. Nuke Vibe collection. I've said this many times in the past. Overall, it seems a lot of people just don't seem to care for it. I like it. I think it looks cool. I like the vibe. Haha. But I get what they're going for. But I get the feeling, based on what I see here, people just aren't that fussed. Now, I will remind you, the fridge didn't sell that much. Weapons haven't sold that much. They've still gone down in price. This right here, well, you could be the lowest selling skin out of the whole set. It does glow in the dark perfectly fine. It's just missing some skin. You know, it's all good. It's all good. But it does glow on all sides. And I think a lot of people might appreciate such a thing. Or they'll just go ahead and buy themselves the storage DLC pack and whatnot. Maybe they'll be happy with that. Alright, fair enough. I'm not fully confident. But yeah, wow. That looks as if it's not going to sell that much. So we'll see what happens. But I think I'd still stick with a barter. Then we have the Senior Tomato Thompson. Wow, okay. I think that's going to only just about reach 5,500 subscribers. Now, the Senior Tomato collection, it's a funny old thing. When we see new skin being accepted, typically these all go up in price. But the weapons, they don't budge that much. But a Thompson, you say, this could be a potential dark horse investment. Do notice that we have the Hellcore Thompson in the positive, the Thundergold Thompson in the positive, and the Deep Ruby Thompson. Thompsons are appreciated. Thompsons get usage. And if that's going to sell next to nothing, a pure red design with a very goofy face to stare at me whilst I mow people down, say no more. So, it doesn't have any transparency, but then again, transparent Thompson's literally just removed the 2 panels here and that's it. That's it. I kind of get the feeling that actually might work out quite alright. Low sales on a Thompson. Let's get a quick look. So you might notice here we've got the Glory Thompson, you've got Santa's Little Helper, Wasteland Hunter. Some of these here didn't really sell that much, but this is still expected to sell about half as much as these. I can't help but assume Senior Tomato Thompson actually might work out as a nice investment. And it's got me thinking I might need to go ahead and buy some. We'll wait till Wednesday, we'll look at the abnormal barters, blah, 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 but when I'm looking at that, I have to sit there and question, do I actually want to jump in? Because that is looking to sell next to nothing, and I have to respect that. I think that could still work out quite nicely. So, okay then, cool, fair enough then. So some very low sales were expected, and it looks like it's going to happen. My predictions video was a funny one, but it seems to have lined up with the expectation. Now, unfortunately, my rust rotation video was incomplete. I didn't realise that we had the pump shotgun. Or rather, I saw it, I didn't bring it in, I didn't think of it. Now, I can't even shirt you right now. Let me go to Rust Help. Can I see it now? Yay, there you go. I guess that also sets the tone in regards to the pump shotgun. We just had a whole bunch of them being accepted throughout the past month. And now it appears and it's like, If it was a water pipe shotgun, which of course there is an old part water pipe, just going to say that, I honestly think they would have sold more. Because we don't get that many skins for them. But of course, it's the focused item of the month, so we're kind of expecting to see one being accepted, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I'm looking at that. Over to here, as you'll see, only 1,800 subscribers. And yet, conveniently, we do have a nice thing to compare to. Primal Salvage Axe. Okay then, fair enough. But the timing for this pump shotgun wasn't the best. And as you'll notice, this only just about reached 5,000 subscribers. I am under the impression that this is only going to do between 4,000 to 5,000 subscribers. And it's quite surprised because, of course, as you might notice, we've got the old pirate revolver, which is doing very good at the moment. Then we've got the old pirate python, which is doing not so good. and then we have you. And let me just kind of point this out. With the sudden large amount of pump shotguns being accepted, it's not doing them any favours, is it? No. Even this has suffered a little bit. Just a little bit. Anyway, I'm not expecting much. I'm thinking, even though you have 4,000 to 5,000 subscribers potentially, yeah, I think you're going to suffer. Now, it definitely makes it a potential candidate to being manipulated in the future. Well, that's something you probably can't just fully go all in on. We'll see how it goes, but, you know, I just pointed out Salvage Sword earlier. It only has 2,900 subscribers, and it's down by 50%. Just because it looks like it could happen doesn't mean it's definitely going to happen. Or maybe it does eventually happen, but it probably won't happen for a good few years. A lot of the skins that get manipulated are usually older skins, because it's more reliable. So, okay, we'll see how that goes. But yes, there was quite a lot of yapping today, but I hope it's in your heads. I hope you're aware. Lack of sales is definitely making these skins looking like a lot more interesting. So then, there you go. And again, I will remind you, if I go over to here, so Steam Workshop, no new submissions. Now, there is one, but this is actually supposed to be submitted for not this current weekend, but next weekend. And oh, look at that. Transparent aim sight. Nice. But I repeat, there are supposed to be 0 submissions for this weekend. That'd mean, for my Rust Workshop skin checks video, I need to do like a sort of special complete the sets video. I've asked my server, hey, could we do some bingos? Could we start guessing what collections are going to likely get some skins? Or, you know, more specifically, what skins do you reckon could be accepted for complete the sets? Their wish list. We'll go with that. So I've seen some interesting designs. I will go ahead and give you a nice little showcase of various skins, and we'll question, could it even happen? Or maybe people have just been a little bit too wishful. Right, anyway. So over here, I'm sure many of you are also fully well aware, we've seen some more Twitch drops. Kick drops. Sorry. So I do recall, where are we? If I could quickly, Frost, that was it, Mr. Frost, and Hedge, here you go, that's it. They have gone ahead and unveiled their very nice looking AK-47. It is a lovely piece of art. But I have been informed of all the skins now. I've seen them all. They're not yet revealed, but I have seen them all. And let me tell you that it's a stacked lineup. And this is definitely one of them. All right, got to mute it so you don't hear the music, so I might get in trouble. But there's a lovely bit of transparency. It's an icy design. It is a very nice looking skin. So it's not the only one. There's a lot of them. It is stacked with very useful, very interesting designs. I'm trying to walk the line. But yeah, I think you're looking forward to these. With the ones that are still yet to appear, I think you'll be thoroughly impressed. Yes, let's go with that. So, chances are you're going to notice all of them being revealed technically when we have the update next week. But I have to wait until they're all revealed and then I can make the video, okay? Just going to get that in your heads. Whilst I have access, whilst I can look at all of them right now if I wanted to, got to be patient. I've been asked to wait, okay? And I have to respect that. So, start rubbing your hands. There's some very interesting skins that you're going to get for absolutely free. Soon. June 11 to the 21st. 10 days to get these skins. Shouldn't be hard. But even the general drops look nice. Yes, they do. Right then. So, sorry for getting you all hyped up and whatnot. Let me just sit here and say, player count's going to be higher than 100,000 by the end of this month. Or rather, by the end of today, technically speaking. I'm recording this quite late. Yes, so May actually worked out quite alright. I do believe in North America, kids are out of school, it's the summertime now. Awesome. We should be expecting player counts to improve a fair bit. Just don't assume it's going to be ridiculously high. Like, look at April last year and then, like, August last year. It's not a massive gain, but it's still more people playing. And the peak player counts were better, if I can recall. So, yes, we're expecting higher prices, usually around July and August. Summer peaks. I've already made a video talking about that. Blah, blah, blah. You get the idea. So, yeah. June 4 swipe is next. I believe we're going to see the player models being introduced. Apparently, it helps reduce lag by quite a lot. Fingers crossed, we'll see. And that's basically everything. So keep an eye out with my short videos this weekend. Unfortunately, I had some issues yesterday, so I couldn't go in and showcase the skins for a short video. But I have just gone ahead and done a bunch of them now. I'm looking forward to showcasing how some of these skins look, and yeah, you get the idea. Even though I did it in my rust rotation video, I think I gave it a lot of love with the short videos as well. So, all right, cool. Blah blah blah. Yep. Hedge, it's time to stop. Okay, I will. So, with that, thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. Best luck to all of you, and let's see if we make some sweet, delicious profit in the future. Also, let me just point out and sit here and say thank you so much to everyone who donated for the Uterus charity event. It's raised over £10,000 for Americans and maybe all the other people watching. That's equivalent to about $13,000 USD. Thank you so much. But there's still one more day. Could it still reach £12,000? Could it maybe reach around $15,000? Still going on tomorrow, so you're more than welcome to watch the streams, and you're more than welcome to consider donating. Thank you very much. Catch you later. Say goodbye.